Well, I mentioned it last episode. I'll say the same thing this episode. Things are going about as well as can be expected. We're winning the games we're supposed to be winning. At least I think we are. We're competing in the games we're losing in, and that's about basically all I can ask. The team is kind of in flux. I've got an older squad that I'm trying to transition to a younger squad, and as a result, this transfer window may be a little bit busier than I intended. My name's FM21, and this is the Red Devils Rising. About the only annoying result in this was the draw at Freiburg. We had a lot of players that had a really good game, and we had a lot of players that didn't have a really good game. And, of course, it evened it out, so it was a 0-0 draw. Florian Held rescued us from a draw against VfB Stuttgart, a goal in the 90th minute, which was actually really well struck. He is one of my youth players that I am definitely trying to get more playing time this season. He's fast. He's pacey. He has okay stamina. His strength isn't the best. His technicals aren't the best other than his first touch. But his passing and technique are good. More playing time, and he will definitely get close to this 5-star potential ability. Mentally, he needs some help. But that's one of the things we're training him on. At least it's one of the things I thought we were training him on. He's on agility and balance. He doesn't need to be on agility and balance. He needs to be on... I could have sworn there was something here that would improve your concentration, but I guess not. It's vision and positioning more than anything else. So that is going to be... Now that's vision passing, technique, long shots, composure, decision-making, off the ball, anticipation, positioning, and decision-making. Against Bayer, we held them to a 2-2 draw. Gubble scored, Skip scored. This was... not exactly a rotated side. I did start a couple guys that I normally don't start just because of health issues more than anything else. But holding Bayer to a draw is decent. Borussia, they got a goal in the 55th minute from Ababu to score. We did... Frankly, we should have lost by a lot more. I mean, De Grack was on a 6-2. Held was on a 6-5. Skip and Swiderski were both sub 6-7. Bezker, Jamelka were 6-5. Mazzini was a 6-7. I think the only thing that really counted in our favor was the fact that Borussia really didn't seem all that interested in the game. They had 11 shots, 5 on target. We had the possession advantage. And I didn't play keep away from them or anything like that. I didn't change anything from a tactical point of view. We were lackadaisical. And I'm sure there's probably a fairly big word in German that it means the same thing. Although with my luck, it probably is lackadaisical. And we didn't deserve the draw. Or we didn't deserve the draw. We didn't deserve the win. And as a result, we got neither. So today, we're playing Borussia Mönchengladbach and Mainz. Borussia Mönchengladbach is a team that's been kind of struggling for a while. They are in 16th place. They've been in the relegation fight a couple of times now. And then Mainz is in 6th place. They are a couple of points behind us. So this is kind of the key game. If we win this game going into the January transfer window, I think we'll be doing well. I've had more than a couple of players come to me and say, I'm not getting the playing time I think I deserve. And my response has been, I'll either look for a loan move or I will guarantee you coming off the bench. And pretty much to a man, they all said, no, I would rather leave. So as a result, they're now listed. Ismail Soro, Francisco Ilarugi, and a couple of others. The good thing is, money-wise, I'm okay. I've got 16.5 million euros in the transfer budget. We're kind of up against it with the payroll budget, but I can move some things around in order to get us in. Plus, if some of these players leave, we're going to be getting some of that back. But that said, budget-wise, finance-wise, we're fairly healthy, and that's a good thing as well. So we've got Borussia Mönchengladbach coming up. I'm going to double-check my best 11, set the reserves, and we're going to come back with that match here in just a bit. It's pretty much our standard starting 11 today. They've got Chong and Winks and a couple others. The only difference is we've got Pai and Thaki starting. We got Pai starting on the left. Just simply to give Flikioli rest. But I think going forward for the rest of the season, Florian Held is going to be our starting advanced midfielder on the left. Velskovic to Sorensen to Winks. Long pass across the field to Vasquez. He taps up to Chong, who cuts inside, blows by the one defender. Drops off to Whitehorse, who gets it back to Kramer. To Winks. All the way back to Sorensen. Out to Vasquez on the left. He feeds Chong a nice soft pass. Mazzini, a very good block. I agree with the commentators. That was a lovely move by BMG. Winks sends it in. Gennaro knocks it away, but Chong runs it down. Left side of the box. Cuts inside. Dispossessed by Tawazi. A nice tackle by the midfielder. Gubbles. First touch back to Tawazi. He feeds Gubbles. Back to Gennaro. To Tawazi. Why would the highlight end there? Serralta back to Dahlberg. Out to Winks. Long pass across the field to Chong. Cuts inside again. Wall of red in front of him, and he kicks it really, really far and really, really right. Winks with the free kick. Into the crowd. Degraka knocks it away. Soro runs it down. Passes it up for Gubbles. Got behind the defenders, and Dahlberg, a very nice move. Plus, they're saying Gubbles was offsides, but still. Magahalis on the throw to Gubbles. Back to Magahalis, who tries crossing it in, bounces it off Chong. Centers it to Weghorst, to Kramer. To Winks. Obafemi, right side of the box. Dispossessed by Pai, but it goes to Waldschmidt. Crosses it in. Chong is there, but he heads it right to Mazzini. All the way out to Held, who heads it down to Pai. Pai, shadowed by Obafemi, finally gets it away. Bejker to Jamelka. Long pass up into space. Gubbles got by the defenders again and again right at Dahlberg. Knocked away. Weghorst heads it down to Obafemi. And that's the highlight. Gubbles driving forward. Gennaro to Tawazi. Up to Gubbles again. No one in front of him. Takes the shot right at Dahlberg. Degraka runs it down and can't stop it from going out of bounds. Or no, he didn't run it down. It was a throw-in. Soro. Short kick to Held. Back to Soro. Back to Held. All the way back out to Magahalis. Up to Jamelka. To Gennaro. Feeds Gubbles. And he absolutely blasts it by Dahlberg this time. Oh, and they're calling him offsides. FM giveth, FM taketh away. Going into half, we've had 2 goals called back for Gubbles being offsides, but that shows we're at least moving the ball really well against them. Gubbles with the free kick, lofts it in, Bejker's there, hits the post, doesn't cross the line, Velskovic knocks it away, Gubbles runs it down. Crosses it in again, knocked away, and the highlight ends. What is up with these highlights? Tawazi just got injured. Groin injury. That's not good. Okay, we'll bring Thaki on for Tawazi. Degraka is not having the best game, so we're going to bring him off and bring on Montenot. Pai is not having the best game either, so we'll bring on Ranieri for him. Ranieri on the throw into Soro. Gets the ball to Bejker. He drops it off to Jamelka. Back to Bejker. To Jamelka. Oh, Thaki, a very nice move right at Dahlberg, though. Waldschmidt to Motor. He gives it up to Chong, to Obafemi, back to Kramer. Kramer gives the ball away. Magahalis is there, knocks it down to Thaki, who don't know what that was, but it's back in BMG's hands. Obafemi, Vasquez, Gunter, baseline, back to Vasquez, takes the shot. Mazzini can't control it, ball's knocked around. Obafemi comes up and scores. What the actual hell was that? Well, Mazzini made one acrobatic save. And the game is definitely darker when it goes to the 3D, and I'm not quite sure why, because my graphic settings haven't changed. As a matter of fact, the only thing that's changed about the game is the patch that SI pushed. And we get pipped by an 82nd minute goal. Of course, we've got Mainz coming up in a couple of days, too. See what's going on with Tawazi. 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, we got Mainz coming up in about a week. Well, let me save the game right here. And then, good grief, gotta get ourselves right. We gotta go into the offseason with a victory. I'm flipping real. Had to take George for a walk, then got distracted by scouting. So, we got Mainz coming up. And I wish there was a way to... I mean, I can use the up arrow, I guess. Just going to reach kind of awkwardly around my mic stand here. So, chances are 95% of these guys are going to be nothing. The one interesting thing that I always do is... You have a bid for somebody who, this guy is at Poors, who is a Norwegian second division group. One of the reasons that caught my eye, well, you know what? Tangent. You go to players, you go to player search. I have this particular search that says I'm going to look for people who are between the ages of, say, 17 and 18, and you can adjust this up one, down one, so on and so forth. And then I have every region added. And then I've got a copy of this overview where I've got caps, youth appearances, the team, the personality, if it's another position, so on and so forth, and age. And usually what I do is you sort by youth caps first. And what you're looking for is a discrepancy, at least what I would consider a discrepancy between the number of appearances they have, the team they're on, the national team they're on, the club they're on, and the country they're from. This can also be kind of a red herring. Jose Roberto is playing on a French National 3 squad. He has 24 youth appearances for the Under-21 squad. He's not getting paid. He's from Luxembourg. Chances are he's not all that great. But you know what? You offer him a trial for 2 weeks, because you bring anyone in on trial for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, you're going to know everything about them. And if he's possibly somebody, you make an offer for them. 9 times out of 10, if a team denies you a trial, it's because they think the player's already good. So you just go ahead and naturally scout him, and then you put him on a short list or something like that. There are some outliers out there. One of the things I've noticed in my other save is the Faroe Islands, for whatever reason. I started seeing a bunch of teams, and speaking of Faroe Islands, we got this guy right here, a bunch of teams with a bunch of youngsters from the Faroe Islands on them with a lot of youth appearances. Now, the Faroe Islands weren't winning, but when I would go in and say, hey, can I get this guy on trial for 2 weeks? They would deny it. And I would scout them, and they'd be like 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential ability, 5 star potential ability. So you're not risking anything by bringing a player in on a scout, on a scouting mission sort of thing. And every once in a while, you can find a real diamond in the rough. As an example, we'll take a look at this guy here, Benolo Rank-Gamana, who is from Botswana. He's in the South African Premier League. He's got 17 appearances for the Botswana national team at 17 years old. If we click on him here, okay, we know his pace isn't the best. But you know what? He's 18 years old. He's got 16 to 20 technique already. We can try and bring him in on a trial. Chances are they'll turn us down. So we just scout him. Now, we've got a worldwide scouting package now. We're paying for it. If you're a smaller squad, this isn't going to work for you necessarily. Someone like this guy, Eddie Sola from Indonesia. He's on Oviedo. They're a second Spanish division squad. He's worth $150,000. maybe he's worth something. Scout him. You know, and every once in a while, you will find the one diamond in the rough. Like, here's the best Sri Lankan player in the world. I don't know that for a fact. And no, he's not the best Sri Lankan player in the world, but he could be. I mean, if those stats were in yellow or blue, then yeah, you scout him. And then you got to also pay attention to some of the countries that you don't have loaded, but their players are showing up. The Dominican Republic, your Central American countries. Countries that are good sources of footballers that aren't part of the basic database that you get with Football Manager, that more often than not you would have to add them in. I always stop at about 17, 18, because after that, they'll probably start getting noticed a bit more. Marcus Richter, I think I actually have no, he's not in a short list. Okay, so this is Marcus Richter. He's from Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein. We'll scout him. We'll see what he comes back as. Right now I know he has good acceleration, good balance, good stamina, good passing, good technique, and good penalty taking. A couple other things he's kind of low on. His composure is off the ball and his vision. But, even if those are 10s at 17 years old, you're not risking anything. There's another method I also use, but I don't have it set up on this save yet, and that is using ScreenFlow, which is something I need to get into. That's actually a very handy scouting tip, and I found a lot of my good youth players over the years who've turned into absolute superstars. I found them that way. The best player I ever had was an FM17, was a striker named Viktor Kolarek, and he came to us from Victoria Pilsen, and the only reason I noticed him was because at 16 years old, he had 2 senior caps. And I thought, if you're 16 years old, I don't care what country you're playing for. If you're 16 years old and you have 2 senior caps, you've got to be worth something. And I scouted him, and oh my God, was he worth something. He ended up being probably one of the best players in world football in that version of FM for me. It was a great save. It was a fabulous save. And that's where actually I learned how to start doing this. Viking Dan has a similar method he uses where he also dives into, he only wants players with certain personalities and so on and so forth. But this method I find works really well for me. It's one of those cases where you spend a lot of time on it, and I'm not going to say I'm a glutton for punishment, but I enjoy this part of the game. I find this part of the game fun. You find that diamond in the rough that, you notice before anyone else, and you either get them cheap, and they become a part of your squad. Let's see, he's 4. If I'm reading this correctly, youth prospect way off the main team. He's 4-star potential. Now, I'll still keep him here on trial, but if I was a lower level squad, yeah, I might be tempted to keep him. Something tells me he just has not been developing enough at the parent club he's been at. But a 4-star potential player means a lot of those could improve, but he's 18 years old right now, which means you have at best 5 years to get him out there. And are you going to invest that much time and energy in doing that? That's a decision for you to make. I can't make that. I know what I would make for me, and right now I'll just keep him. This guy is only 3-star potential, 3.5. We'll see how a couple more of these numbers shake out and go from there. But you wait a week, you take a look, you go to the end of the 2 weeks, and anybody you like, you try and sign. And you stick them on your youth squad. And if you're in a country where you can get away with having a big youth squad and a big under-23 squad, and you have decent coaching for them, it's a good way to really build up what you have. So we've got Mainz coming up. Let's see here. They keep doing it. Well, we're going to move Gubbles over to... No, we're going to leave Gubbles on the right. We're going to leave Gubbles on the right. I want Florian to stay there on the left. I am, however, going to bring Thaki up to replace Decker and go from there. I mentioned earlier I had several players coming in wanting more playing time. Sora was one of them. He's happy to go out on loan. Sosa is one of those, wants to go on loan. Ritter was one of those, he's listed. Although I had him listed before. Curry got injured. I have him listed as loan. I've got him a promise that I will find him a loan move, but he is out for the next 6 weeks minimum. Flickiole's back from injury, but he's nowhere near match fit. And that's pretty much it. So we've got Mainz coming up. Let's get to it. Mainz is a good squad. I want to say they're either right behind us or right in front of us in the standings. Muller bombs it forward. Mateta heads it down to Apollinario. He gives the ball away, but Bezka gives it right back to him. Gennaro, on the other hand, just bombs it down the field. Oh, what is this Route 1 stuff? Shepelev runs down the ball. Out to Christensen on the right. Right side of the box. Holds it up. Onyeka, Mateta, and he scores. Nice first touch by Christensen. Nice job by Onyeka finding the space to receive the pass and then send it in. Gubbles splits the defenders. De Graca ends up with the ball, gives it back to Gennaro. He gives it to Skip, up to De Graca. Gubbles, he can't handle it. Mateta ends up with the ball. Oh, Held steps in front of that, drives forward. No one in front of him, really. Although Christensen fouled him. Is he in the box? I got music for this. I'm going to take a drink, too. Excuse me. No penalty. Wow, that's the first time in a while I've seen VAR not come up with a positive. It's going to be just on the outside of the box, probably. Jeez. Okay, Gubbles sends it in, knocked away. Mateta's going to run it down, and that is the highlight. You get the formation turned off here and go to the league table. Yeah, Mainz is just ahead of us. They were ahead of us going into the game. They were a point ahead of us. Held gets it to Skip, up to Mutono. I can't pronounce that. I should know how. Ranieri gets the errant pass. Gennaro back to Beschker. He passes into space. Christensen runs it down. What on earth is going on? Slightly shorter passing, people. And we give the ball away on the throw-in. Mateta back to Shepelev. He gives the ball away. Magahalis gets it to Gubbles. He breaks right. Gets the ball back to Magahalis. He gets around the defender. Centers it in. De Graca is there. Muntno is there, and he scores. His fourth of the season. Well done, Louis. He's Romanian, so I'm not quite sure how they pronounce that. It's probably Lewis. De Graca went up for the header, and he and the defender both... Looks like they collided at the same time. The ball fell to Muntno. Skip. Oh, Apollinario steps in front of him. He is off. Gubbles. Muller, a nice stop. 10 minutes left in the half. Come on, guys. Let's get fired up. I tried firing them up, and they all went frowny face, sad face. What on earth is that result? Shepelev. Out to Christensen. Crosses it in, and it's headed over the crossbar. Not that Gervais had the angle to do anything with that, really. I think at the halftime, I may actually switch to the press a little bit more. And we go in with a 1-1 draw. I am going to go with a counter press. We're man up. Let's make the most of it. Okay, these blinking billboards. Held absolutely buries it. Nice move. They're going to call him offside. coming up on 60 minutes. A man up, we still haven't been able to score. 65, 67 minutes. I've been too busy talking. Ranieri's going to come off. Pye's going to come on for him. We're going to get Gennaro off and bring on Swiderski. I'm going to switch Bejker and Maga Hollis, and then Bailey is going to come on the defensive center back position. 75 minutes. We're going to go to the very attacking. We're also going to shout at the guys and encourage them. Bejker. Swiderski loses the ball. Cervase. Holds it up. Feeds Onyeka, who hits the crossbar. Holy cow. Dodged a bullet there. Although it looks like Mazzini got a hand on it. Bello out to Stoke. What a way to end the highlight there. Cervase. Gubbles bomb. Well, hits it forward. I can't say bombed it forward. It went right to Onyeka. Stoger to Onyeka. To Ilov. Rounds 1. Rounds 2. Mateta. Blivet. A man down and they still score. Holy freaking cow. You can be demotivated all you want. We were a man up and they scored. I'm throwing a freaking bottle. And we go into the winter break. Send the assistant to the press because I really don't want to talk to them. We'll go into the winter break. Got some scouting to do. Got some loan players to move. Maybe a loan player or two to bring in. And just, oh my God, what a horrible, horrible game that was. What could I have done differently? I was on the attack. We were moving the ball okay. Maybe brought better players on. Need to have better players to bring them on, though, but we shall have to see. Not the best results this episode. As things are beeping all over the place. The Borussia loss was annoying. The Mainz loss even more so because we were a man up, although it was nice to see no score. What an episode. But hopefully the scouting thing comes in handy for you. It's a nice takeaway, I hope. If you did like what you've seen and heard, please do like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticism, comments. Leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM21, and I thank you for